On September 25, 1983, one of the most audacious prison breaks in modern history unfolded in Northern Ireland. It was a day that would be remembered as the largest escape from a high-security prison in Europe, shaking the British government and reinforcing the unyielding resolve of the Irish Republican Army IRA. The Maze Prison, also known as Long Kesh, a fortress of concrete and steel, loomed over the green fields of Northern Ireland like a grim reminder of the conflict that had raged for decades. Situated southwest of Belfast, it was designed not just to incarcerate, but to crush the spirit of those who opposed British rule. The H-blocks, named for their distinctive shape, held some of the most committed members of the IRA, men who saw themselves not as criminals, but as soldiers in a war for Irish freedom. The prison was divided into H-shaped cell blocks, each with its own security systems. The layout prevented easy movement between sections, limiting prisoner coordination. The perimeter was heavily fortified with 15-foot high fences topped with barbed wire. Multiple layers of fencing made it difficult for anyone to reach the outer walls. Watchtowers with armed guards surrounded the prison, providing 24/7 surveillance. The guards had orders to shoot to kill if necessary. The prison had electronically controlled gates and a single main exit point. Security checks were rigorous, with constant monitoring of prisoner movement. Prison officers frequently searched cells and prisoners for contraband, reducing the chances of smuggling escape tools or weapons. The prison had informants planted among inmates, making it difficult to plan escape attempts without being exposed. This combination made the maze seem inescapable. Unlike older prisons where digging tunnels was possible, the maze's layout and concrete foundations made such attempts unrealistic. Even if a prisoner got past the guards, the remote location of the prison meant there were few places to hide, and British security forces could respond quickly. But no matter how many precautions the authorities took, they underestimated one crucial thing: the unwavering resolve of the IRA prisoners.
We're serious in our prison history.
The escape did not come out of nowhere. For years, Republican prisoners had sought ways to defy their captors, whether through hunger, strikes, riots, or elaborate escape attempts. The most famous of these was the 1981 hunger strike, during which 10 IRA prisoners, including Bobby Sands, had starved themselves to death in a desperate bid for recognition as political prisoners. The escape of 1983, however, would be a different kind of statement, one of action rather than martyrdom. The three most notable prisoners involved in the 1983 Maze prison escape are Brendan Bick McFarlane, a senior IRA member and former leader of the IRA prisoners in the Maze. He was sentenced with life imprisonment for his role in the 1975 Belfast pub bombing, which killed 5 people. He played a key role in organizing the escape and coordinating prisoners. He was recaptured in 1986 in Amsterdam and extradited back to Northern Ireland. Larry Marley, a key IRA strategist who spent years planning the escape from within the prison. He was sentenced with life imprisonment for IRA activities, including bombings. He did not escape himself to avoid suspicion, but was instrumental in devising the plan, later assassinated by loyalist paramilitaries, UVF, in 1987 for his role in the escape. Jerry Kelly, an influential IRA commander, he was sentenced with 2 life sentences plus 20 years for his role in the 1973 Old Bailey bombing in London, which injured over 200 people. He played a leading role in overpowering prison guards during the breakout. He was recaptured in 1986 in the Netherlands and extradited back. later became a Sinn Féin politician and served in Northern Ireland's government. Larry Marley was one of the key masterminds behind the escape. He had studied past failures, analysed the security weaknesses, and slowly, methodically, built a plan that would be unlike anything attempted before. Marley was patient, knowing that the IRA did not take such operations lightly. Every detail had to be perfect. Every man involved had to be absolutely committed. Months of preparation went into the operation. The escape would focus on H Block 7, where trusted IRA members were housed. Smuggled intelligence had given them insights into guard routines, shift changes, and security weaknesses. The plan involved several stages. First, securing weapons inside the block. Second, taking control of the area without triggering alarms. Third, hijacking a vehicle that could get them through the outer gate. The weapons were smuggled in piece by piece, hidden in food parcels, personal belongings, and even the folds of visitors' clothing. Improvised knives and other makeshift weapons were prepared for those who could not get access to guns. More importantly, the men trained in unarmed combat, ready to take down guards as quickly and quietly as possible. Sunday, September the 25th, 1983, started like any other day in the maze. Guards walked their rounds, prisoners followed their daily routines, and the air of oppressive normalcy settled over the prison. But within H7, hearts pounded with the anticipation of what was to come. At 2:30 p.m., the first phase began. One by one, the designated IRA men moved into position. The moment a guard entered an area alone, he was swiftly subdued, tied up and gagged. They worked fast and efficiently, taking control of the block without raising the alarm. Within minutes, 10 officers were restrained, their keys confiscated. The IRA prisoners, now dressed in stolen guard uniforms, moved to the next phase, commandeering the supply truck. The maze's routine meant that supply deliveries entered and exited regularly. The prisoners had studied the schedule, knowing that a food delivery truck would arrive at a specific time. As it rolled up to H7, the disguised prisoners greeted the driver, presenting themselves as normal guards. But within seconds, the real guards were overpowered, and the vehicle was seized. Inside the truck, 38 prisoners crammed together, their hearts pounding as they approached the final checkpoint. One of them sat in the driver's seat, dressed as a guard, praying that the deception would hold for just a few more minutes. If they could clear this last barrier, freedom awaited. But fate had other plans. As the truck neared the main gate, an alert officer noticed something off. Perhaps a familiar face among the guards that shouldn't have been there. Suspicion flared, and before the prisoners could react, the alarm was sounded. The gates did not open. Guards rushed forward, guns drawn. The escapees had no choice. A fight erupted, gunfire echoing through the prison as the IRA men scrambled for cover. Some dashed out of the truck, climbing fences, sprinting for the outer walls. Others fought their way through, using sheer force and desperation to push past security forces. The British soldiers stationed at the prison scrambled to respond, but the attack had come too suddenly, too violently. In the mayhem, 38 prisoners breached the final barriers and scattered into the countryside. Some hijacked cars, forcing terrified civilians to drive them away. Others disappeared into the dense fields and forests, where IRA safe houses awaited them. Northern Ireland was thrown into turmoil. The British government, humiliated and furious, ordered an immediate and relentless manhunt. Roadblocks sprang up overnight. Helicopters scoured the landscape, and security forces raided homes suspected of harboring escapees. Over the following days, 19 of the escapees were recaptured. dragged back to their cells under heavy guard, but the other 19 vanished. Some made it to the Republic of Ireland. Others fled to America or Europe, finding refuge among the IRA's extensive network. The Maze prison was never the same again. Security was overhauled, guard procedures were rewritten, and the British government faced heavy criticism for allowing such a breach. Yet, for the IRA, the escape was a moment of triumph, proof that no prison, no matter how secure, could contain their resolve.
There are 500 paramilitary terrorist prisoners concentrated in one jail, and that is unique. I know of no other prison service which has to cope with a problem on that scale.
The Maze prison would remain a symbol of the Troubles until its closure in 2000, a relic of a dark chapter in Irish history. But the escape of 1983 lives on as one of the most daring and dramatic prison breaks in modern history. To this day, it is celebrated in Irish Republican folklore, a testament to courage, ingenuity, and an unbreakable desire for freedom. Their success proved that no prison, no matter how secure, is truly escape-proof when faced with determined individuals who plan meticulously. And so, in the annals of history, the Great Escape from the Maze stands not just as a prison break, but as a statement, a defiance against the odds, a challenge to authority, and a story that will be told for generations to come.